Welcome to Artificial Insights, where we talk to leaders and thinkers in AI about how to do AI right. I'm your host, Daniel Maneri, and this is Season 4. On this podcast, we sit down every other Friday with people who build things with and write things about AI, and talk to them about what they do and why they do it. We've been doing this for just over a year now, and a core pattern has emerged. Why you build with AI matters as much as how you build with AI. Join me this season as I meet with and learn from a great lineup of guests from awesome companies like Canva, Fellow.ai, and Waha. I can't wait to introduce them all to you. In the meantime, if you're new here, you should check out some of our favorite episodes. In Season 1, Episode 8, I talked to Chris Braun, and here's what he said about why we still need human expertise.
Over the last several decades, BI, business intelligence, has been a big thing, and companies have spent billions of dollars effectively trying to democratize access to data. That's been the promise. You've collected all this data, now your whole organization needs to benefit from it, so you need to open the access, open the kimono, and let everybody go free-for-all on the data to get the insights. But what these organizations have learned is that when you look at the number of ad hoc business requests, where a business user says, I need this insight, it has not decreased. BI didn't actually replace the need for data experts providing insights from the data, because the interaction will go something like this. The business user will say, hey, I need, Q4 sales for this region with this nuance. They'll ask the data team, and the data team will say, we built you a dashboard. The response will be some variation of, I don't know how to use it. I don't know how to interpret the data. Effectively, I'm not sure I would trust the insight that I got from it. And what it comes down to is there is in a level of expertise and human judgment that they need to say, hey, this person who is actually an expert at interpreting data, did well in their stats course, they are giving me this interpretation. And so I think that's the same thing with AI. AI can be assisting in providing all the data points or the things that the right person needs, but there are some human judgment that gets into the mix that's quite essential in these high consequence decisions.
In Season 2, Episode 1, I talked to Patrick Beliveau, and here's what he said about how he accidentally founded an AI business.
Hold on, I want to ask you one question first.
Yeah.
Did you just say that in under a month, with no experience, you got a RAG pipeline working with ChatGPT as the first iteration?
Yeah, so the thing about me is I'm definitely I'm undiagnosed, but I'm quite sure I have OCD and ADHD all together. So when I decide that I want to do something, I just consume everything I can. So I would get up at 2:30 or 3 because I have a full-time job, right? So I'd get up at 2 or 3 in the morning and just start cranking and just start learning and getting where I would get stuck. I would sort of figure myself out. And again, AI was an amazing tool though, because it'd be like, hey, well, you haven't configured this properly. I'm like, I don't know what that is. And they'd be like, okay, well, you need to do this and this. Oh, okay, cool. And then I would realize that the documentation was out of date, so that I would copy paste the documentation in and be like, hey, you said this, but I think it might be that. And it would kind of help me through. Our developer, Chris, saw how I use our IDE, and he's just like, I don't understand how you got anything working. The basics of what I think most people would generally understand, I don't. I get a goal in my head that I want to build something, and I just ignore all the reasons why I shouldn't do it. I just keep pushing until I figure out how to do the thing that I need to do, because for me, I'm not interested in learning Python, the language. I'm interested in learning the right words or the right things to put in to do the thing that I want to do. And if that's called Python, cool. If it's called whatever else, I don't care. I'm sort of outcome based. I'm not learning based.
That's a very big encouragement, I think, for everybody. Just, you can do it if you put your mind to it. The tools are so helpful.
Oh, and this is using DaVinci. Never mind what people have access to today. This is the origin story. It's wild what one can do today. And maybe we'll get to that from make sure we talk about it from an aspirational standpoint, because I think the generalists and the non-experts, AI is the great equalizer.
In Season 2, Episode 8, I talked to Mike Kirkup, and here's what he said about being surprised by what his own AI product would say in a live demo.
humans are fascinating, right? And that humans as programmers, right, or people building products, they're like, we're going to let the AI do this. And then everything else is going to be programmed around it, right? We want control. We want to know that the things we're going to do and so on. And it takes a certain amount of courage to go, no, we're going to trust the AI to ask the right questions. We're going to trust the AI to do the things around all of that. And how do we build the product in a way that it's intelligent enough to be able to do that well and doesn't fall down with failure and everything else. So like I get on demos, Daniel, and I don't know what the AI is going to say, right? Even though I'm using the same files every time and so on, like the world is changing. And so it's something that gets smarter and it's, hey, like these things don't match. Why don't they match? And the questions are, slightly different every time. And humans don't like that level of unpredictability, right? So,
No.
but I think that's again where that takes a little bit of courage.
In Season 3, Episode 2, I talked to Dr. Christopher Watkin on how AI enables infinite efficiency and why that now asks the question, how much should we let AI do, and not just what can we let AI do?
So it's always been, how can I get more done? How can I be more efficient? Suddenly, we're faced with the prospect of infinite efficiency. I can get everything done with no effort. That's like saying I can have as many calories as I can physically consume within my budget. That's not an issue. But the problem is that brings a second problem alongside the first one. It's how many calories are too many? How much efficiency is not good for me? Like that, if you'd have asked someone to that in the 1870s, that's a crazy question. We want all the efficiency we can get. But now with the prospect of an utterly frictionless productivity, we're forced to ask the new question, oh, hold on, how much friction is actually good for me? Because I can eliminate it almost completely now. How much effort for the student is it important to put into an essay in order to end up with a really good essay, when you can end up with a brilliant essay with no effort at all? And so we're having to inch ourselves into a very new world where we're thinking, how much stress and difficulty and grind and grunt and process is it important for me to have in order to be formed into the sort of person who, fill in the gap, the sort of person who can receive that phone call at 2 a.m. in the morning and know immediately how to respond to it, because that sort of thing happens. The sort of person who can come home and my child throws all sorts of problems at me and I know what it is. Like we can't always run to AI. So we have to be the sort of people who can do stuff. How much friction do I need in my life in order to be the sort of person who can do it?
And in Season 4, well, tune in next time to find out. I made this podcast because I want to be the person at the city gate to talk to every person coming in and out doing great things with AI and find out what and why, and then share the learnings with everyone else. It would mean a lot if you could share the episode with someone that you think would like it. And if you know someone who would be a great person for me to talk to, let me know. Please reach out to me at Daniel Maneri on LinkedIn, or shoot an email to daniel@maneri.house, which is daniel@manary.haus. Thanks for listening.